This is Discord episode 1 of the Raw Faith Podcast with your host Nathan, and then these are the other members here on the Discord. And if you guys could please state your guys' name, each and every one of you, like or you reference you by.
He's ready, Nathan.
You guys are on the mic right now.
Okay, see, but that's the thing. You're gonna have to wait because these foods aren't ready, and I have to get on my computer in a second.
So the one that's talking right now, you're Chris, right?
That's good. I'm Cosmic Cuban, y'all. How are you doing?
Cosmic Cuban. All right, nice to meet you, man. Glad you're here. And then who else is here? All right, so I guess it's just gonna be Chris today and Cosmic Cube. But why does it say that he's muted? Did you mute yourself, Cube?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna get this. We'll cut some of it in the beginning. I don't mind it. All right, so what's up, guys? How you guys doing? How's your guys' day today and everything? Can you guys hear me?
There you go. Day was cool. I went to court.
Oh, nice. You went. Well, I mean, not nice, but well, I'm glad you got settled what you had to get settled there. That's interesting. Oh, I'm trying to find my place right there.
What did I miss? So, I went to court.
Okay, so I just wanted to kind of get a talking point out there. Like you were talking about court. Like, do you believe the system is like rigged against you as a Cuban, or do you believe the system is equal to all?
What was it? Repeat the question.
Do you believe that the system is discriminatory toward people like you, which you are like of Cuban descent, or do you believe it's equal to all people?
I don't think there was anything that factor because there's a lot of different races, and I don't put myself there as Cuban. There's no big label on my head that says it. So I didn't see any.
So
He was giving everyone a chance to lower their issue, but I chose to just plead not guilty and wait for another court date. What were you? What are you in court for? Allegations of speeding. Oh.
So you were speeding.
Allegations of speeding.
What was alleged against you?
I was accused.
What was alleged against you?
That I was speeding.
But
That's what you just said.
But what proof of allegations do they have against you to charge you with speeding?
Cop pulled me over thinking that I was speeding, so he gave me a ticket for speeding.
You,
Did the cop show up? No, he didn't. But that's why I thought I was gonna get through without an issue. But we have to wait until the cop tries to show up, I guess. So we'll see what happens. Yep. I don't think they normally don't, but they normally don't. You're just gonna go against them. You're like, all right, you're free to go. Exactly. I mean, I've gotten a worse speeding ticket taken care of like that.
like, how fast were you going for the last speeding ticket? For the last speeding ticket you got, how fast were you going?
Allegedly, I was going over 100. And he hit a guy. He ran him over. Yeah, he did. Yeah, you hit a bum. He was crossing the fucking highway. There are allegations. Again, I was there. I was the bum.
You were the bum.
I was the bum. He hit me. I'm still mad about that shit, but he's the homie, so I let it go. Okay, we went through our own insurance. Yeah, bum insurance. Bum insurance. I just bought him a hot dog and a beer. It was okay with it. It's like, yeah, I'm alright. He took me to a fucking a Dodgers game.
You guys are just fucking jerking each other off, man.
Wow. Hey, you can't curse. You said you can't swear.
I never. You're just jerking each other off. That's all you guys are doing. Ego, just straight up ego.
What do you have? Okay,
let's have this conversation. What do you want to talk about right now? You sideswiped me out of nowhere with this podcast. I thought we were going to have a little friendly, just hang out and get a feel for the situation. But now we're recording. So what do you want to talk about, Nathan? What's on your mind?
So if you listen, jerk off, you would listen that I'm just referencing some soprano shit. Some soprano shit. That's all I'm referencing. And tell me right now, was it not the right time to say that when you guys were just jerking each other off?
I didn't say it.
Were we jerking each other off? It was a little bit of banter. A bit of banter.
He was the homeless person.
I was the homeless person, indeed. I think that the system is rigged. I think the homeless people in the United States use as a fear to scare people into doing the shitty things that they have to do to survive.
I mean, have you seen a homeless person try to survive when they have a lot of health issues?
Yeah, exactly. We could have that shit solved like that, but they don't want to do that. They rather spend maybe over $100 million to get a new Thrive plane, check for bugs.
But we're actually if you notice, we're actually in deficit. California is in an $800 million deficit. They don't know where the money went.
But where are the homeless? They got so many homeless people.
Like all the money went to the programs and all the false information that was out there.
What's kind of interesting is that
where the money went in. Do you know where the money went in?
To the pockets of those that control the flow of the money that gets received to California.
Yeah, probably money laundering. I can see that. I can see people take it. It's happened before. It's not like it's not new that people are taking it.
We're on full record mode right now, so you guys are live, man. You guys want to shout out anybody?
Yeah, we know. Shout out to Satan. Fuck you, dude. Wow. Piece of shit.
Well, why do you have such a deep desire for him?
I said, did you hear what I said, or you just sort of like you heard Satan and you're just like your eyes glazed over? You shut off when you heard Satan, like keep that shit out of your ear.
No, I actually opened wide, and I'm just interested in, like, if you praise him and if that's your God, that's okay. I'm not against it. It's okay, but I'm just saying, why then?
It's on record. You can go back and listen to what I said, and you'll hear me say, eat shit, Satan.
So you said that. Okay. All right then.
Slander.
He did. The fact that you just mentioned Satan was funny.
He did.
Why are you doing this? We're trying to have a conversation.
No, we are having a friendly conversation.
You want this conversation? Oh, you know what would be good? You know what would be good to do though? Record the chess gameplay you're doing with Andrew right now.
Well, I am, but the thing is, I kind of want to play another game, but it's not allowing me to exit, so I'm gonna have to just defeat him somehow, some way.
Okay.
You're gonna have to defeat him. No, you could exit. There's a little leave activity, but just restart it and do another game.
No, because we're on the chat. We're live right now. I'd rather just finish it and end it.
All right. Yeah, so what were we talking about?
Okay, so we were talking, like, we were going back to the system. No, how, like, do you believe the system is rigged against people, or is it equal for all people?
Oh, it's rigged against poor people.
And where do you get your evidence for that?
When you get like an ankle monitor. So this is just an example. It's not like the entire thing. When you get an ankle monitor, you're charged per day, and depending on the state, right? So if you're broke, you're going into debt with the fucking city or the fucking state or whatever. Isn't that fucked up?
But okay, how does Chris? How does one get broke then? Are you just like born broke or?
Yeah, sometimes you're born broke. Sometimes it's for financial decisions, and that's nobody's fault. Because let's think about this way: if
I'm back. I was taking out the trash.
He was taking out the trash.
All right, just continue on with your point, Chris. Hey, we're live. Can you just give a little quick pause, because I want to let the guests know and the people that are watching know. So if you could just introduce yourself real quick, the one that just joined. You're say it again. Hold on into the mic.
I'm Steve.
All right, awesome. All right, so you can just continue your talking point again, Chris. You were having your talking point.
They're saying about how do you get broke? It's just poor financial decisions, or you're just born broke and you can't get out of the cycle.
So you believe that you're just born broke.
It's multiple things. It depends on person to person, right? Sometimes it's poor financial decisions. Sometimes you're just born broke and can't get out of it.
We're all born naked.
Yeah, we're. So, yeah, that's what I think. That's how it is. It really depends on the person, right?
Further on,
The whole situation. We can't just sort of generalize on them, right? We can't generalize people.
Okay. So you're saying that the system is weighed against people with money and without money.
Yeah, with money. I mean, shit. Have you seen that kid who assaulted a drunk woman, and then got off of jail with no problems because he was from a rich family and he has a quote unquote bright future. And then there's another one, a rich kid gets drunk, gets behind the wheel, and kills a family of, I don't know how many, but a family either way. And he gets out of jail because he's got affluenza. That's what he says. That's what his lawyer claims. That he doesn't know right from wrong because he's rich. He's too rich.
Okay, so then you would say like the problem stems from his family, right? His upbringing.
I think the system's just broken. That you shouldn't be able to buy yourself out of it.
And then in that case, then you would say that it's just discriminatory against people with wealth and without wealth, but not people with different skin color, correct? Like racism.
Sometimes, well, that also brings up the
Because racism doesn't exist.
you know, who's poor? No, it does. Oh shit! I told you, Nathan, I'm not having this conversation again. We're not going to discuss how racism does exist. It is always existed. It's tribalism. That's what it is. It started off as tribalism, like, ooh, you got a different forehead than me. I don't like you. They killed him for bricks.
If would you say then that if somebody doesn't like you, that would be that they have like hatred towards you, that they don't find you good, like they have a mean demeanor against you, that they see you in a hateful way.
If I did something wrong and they don't like me, then that's on me, right? Am I right or am I wrong on this? Because it really does. It always depends. If it's out of nowhere for no reason.
Chris, I just want to ask you a question since you feel very strongly about this. Have you ever been a victim of racism? Personally?
Remember? Yes. Yeah. I was called an evil brown man on my Instagram comments out of nowhere while we were having a conversation. Remember that? You were on my call when we did that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did to deserve that sort of situation. I don't remember saying or doing anything wrong to this person that I've never met before. And
Well, why you brown, Chris?
Why am I brown? That's the question. Why am I brown?
as we all know.
So would you just say that person has hatred towards you?
That person only has like 10 followers.
That person's only got like 10 IQ.
So like, let me ask you again. So would you say that person has hatred towards you?
Yeah, I guess so. That's. I mean, that would drive somebody to comment.
So if they have hatred towards you, why would that be racist?
Because he mentioned my skin color when he should. Then, I mean, you could just say I'm an evil man, right? Like, why am I brown?
Well, if you want to be realistic here, right? Like if I didn't know you, Chris, and you didn't know me, right? And you passed by me and you're a civilian, I'm a civilian, and a cop just asks, hey, some guy got away. Did you see some brown short person, right? To identify you. Let's just say that, right? Is that racist to identify you?
That's different. When you're saying it in that context, you're describing a person. When the other guy said that he was saying it in a spiteful manner.
But was he not describing the person that he has hatred towards?
Where are you getting this from, bro?
Yeah, where are you getting this from? Where are you learning these things?
I'm just simply asking questions. I respect everyone's beliefs and perspectives.
That was a question. Where are you learning this stuff? Where are you?
Okay, first you answer my question, and then I'll gladly answer any of your questions.
What was your question?
Okay, so you would say that that person has hatred towards you. You said yes, and then I said, how is it hatred towards somebody if they're just describing the way you look? Why would that be racist?
Chris,
Why does that become a
when
fact?
he did you, he said you're
He said, "I'm an evil brown man."
He never said alien. He never said like some derogatory
You
slur.
said alien.
No, I said he didn't say any derogatory term towards you. He just identified you.
No, it's the way.
Why would that be racist?
Because
because
he's
one. It's one way
he's a
to say
white guy.
evil. Like this.
Wait. You said he's because he's a white guy. You said.
Yeah, 'cause he's a white person who's calling me brown and evil. You understand?
So if a brown person said that to a white person, would he be racist?
Yeah, racism goes both ways. All right, some people have to have.
Doesn't it
have,
depend on the dominant race?
It depends on the dominant race, but you can also say, I don't want to have white people in my house. That's racist too, right? Yeah. So racism goes both ways.
It doesn't exist. That's the thing. It's just masked, but it's hatred
It's exactly. It's hatred
That's
for a
crazy
person
word.
of certain color.
for fellow man.
It does exist. Yes. So it was for fellow man. That's a good way to think about it, because racism does exist. Some people see it like, oh, white guy hates black people. That's it. That's racism. You know what I mean? But we are just hating on each other. We're just human beings, right? In the end. But it still does exist. It's a thing that's happened throughout history.
And it
it
clapped.
Oh no, I know. I wanted you to defeat me already, so we can play another game. Something because we're gonna do the second part right now. We're gonna take a 1 minute break just to reset ourselves right now. But explain yourself, Chris. So you're saying that it is correct, like I'm correct, as in it is hatred, right, for fellow man.
Sorry, my internet cut out for a second. What was that?
Do you agree that racism is just another word for hatred for fellow man?
Yes, racism. Racism is another word for hatred of another race. Isn't that what it is? And we're all
Join my
humans.
ship. Oh,
Hey, Cube, can you invite me to one of your games, a more funner game than this?
I'll meet you real quick
Okay,
though.
Lord.
Oh, okay. Take a 1 minute break, everyone. Take a little pause, especially you, Chris. You need to take a pause after this. All right, we're back, guys. We're back live with the Raw Faith Podcast, the Discord edition, with your host Nathan, and then your guest here. You guys, introduce yourselves.
Call me fucking Adam Square.
what? Call me blind. Fuck it.
All right, we got Blind, and you said Adam Square. What'd you say?
Tiananmen Square.
Dude, I'm just gonna call you the Xenomorph, all right? Because you have a Xenomorph as your and we're recording right now, so they can know which one are you. But
Yeah, dude. Xenomorph is the perfect.
why did you choose a Xenomorph by any chance?
It's me, dog. It's a selfie.
Oh, you believe it embodies yourself?
Introduce himself.
Cube is busy right now.
Nothing Cuban here.
Oh.
I'm just here listening.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys joining, man. I appreciate you guys being on, man. I know it's a little late for a couple of you guys. I know you guys work and stuff, so I really do appreciate it, man. And if we could just continue with the conversation. So, Chris, let's get back to. Chris Xenomorph. Let's just get back to what we were talking about. So, do you believe that racism and hatred are the same?
Yeah. Well, yes. What? Of course.
Okay, then.
Yes. That's yes.
What came first?
Do you not think? Tribalism.
What do you mean by tribalism?
Tribalism is when one tribe sees another tribe and like, I don't fuck with that tribe. They start throwing shit at each other, and then they start fucking getting down. So, right? Tribalism is like those people are a little bit different than me. I hate them. So that's what it is. That transformed into racism because, well, I don't really know much about that shit. But I do know that racism comes from tribalism because everyone's like, well, that's us, right? Why all white people seem to clump together, all brown people, even though we're all just a big melting pot in the United States, aren't we? Do you believe that, Nathan?
I believe.
A song called "Nature of the Threat," bro. Just listen to it.
Nathan, do you believe? Let me ask you a question. I've answered my question. I'll try on that. Can I ask you? Do you believe the United States is a melting pot?
What do you define as a melting pot?
I mean, other races, other people from other nations coming together to form one great nation under God.
Indivisible with justice and what happened?
Where any man, any woman could be whatever they want to be, right? Without any fear of repercussions from the government, without them being told to shut up or to go away, being welcomed. Do you think the United States is a melting pot where everything can meld together to be one positive nation?
Yes, 100%. And at one point, it was unified. Like I believe during the Jim Crow era, when
Holy shit.
when crime was at 0.01%, when rape was unheard of, when people got married, when black people had 95% more marriage rates than they had with white people, when the black schools that were 50% under budget outperformed the white schools, when they both had their own things going on, Black Wall Street, white people, when they knew the fact, at that time it was predominantly Christian. So when they knew at the time there's no racism, there's no one to blame. It all starts from the home. Actually, after the civil rights movement and after the Jim Crow laws failed from the what's called the campaign with Martin Luther King, that's when they started public schools. Public schools is actually a very recent thing. Before that, children would gain their education from the church and from their household, and now we depend on the government to bring up our children and to give them the ideology, the ideals and the things that they need in life. Where instead of us doing it, now we depend on the government doing it, which is wrong, and which is a part of the reason why a lot of these kids you see nowadays are fucking up, because they're government raised. There's more school hours in the day than there are time with their family on a school day, for example.
Let me ask you something. Public school started during the movement, the Martin Luther King movement.
No, I said after the Jim Crow era and everything fell down. Public school, where it was government funded school, government education, the public school system. That's when it was a thing.
It started back in 1635, maybe.
Yeah, that's the time during the
Yeah, and then you started talking about
and you're
all
going
these
back now.
things,
You're going more
and
further back to Jim Crow, but all I'm saying is yes, it was better back then. That's my opinion. Yeah.
1876 was when Jim Crow started, but the first public school started in 1635 in Boston, Massachusetts. That's what you said, that it started after the desegregation. Yeah, he said after Jim Crow and after all that. No. It started in 1635.
No, I'm bringing up some
That's what you
facts right
said.
now myself right now. Hold on one second. You said what era? You said 16?
That's what it says.
1600s. That was before America was a thing, wasn't it?
1600s. It was was it? The United States
No,
began
it
in the
actually
1600s.
no. It says 1644.
The first public school in America was established in 1635 in Boston, Massachusetts.
No, it says 44. It says 1644 by anonymous vote. Ham, Massachusetts, authorizing the first U.S. taxpayer fund public school.
It's been around for 400 years at that point.
But Jim Crow started in 1870. So Jim Crow has nothing to do with public schools or even the movement that you're saying.
Yeah, because Jim Crow, because living under Jim Crow was better. It was better.
But they have nothing to do with each other.
No.
No, Jim Crow's came after, and it was better back then. What you asked me, you were like, "Oh,
Why was
you're
it
saying it's
better?
better," and I said it was better
Why was it better?
because the marriage rate was up, the crime rate was down, to
But people
amazing
could still
levels.
be
People were at
lynched
peace.
and murdered, and they wouldn't be considered as
Black
human.
people weren't whining and complaining. They had their own things. They had everything themselves. They had railroads.
We
They
all
had.
have our own things now. I have my own computer. I have
Okay,
my
then if
own
that's the
bed.
truth, then why do you say there still is racism or there's racism?
There is racism. Have you not seen the news? Hang on, give me a second. I gotta give something to somebody. It's gonna be 2
So
seconds.
you're saying that
You
you
could
believe the news to tell you what racism is? Okay,
oh,
that's quite
give
interesting
me 2
that
seconds.
he believes that the news can give him the information he needs about racism. Do you watch the news, blind?
No, not at all.
Do you believe the news?
I believe the weather.
Interesting. Yeah, it was yeah, I believe the weather far more than the news.
True.
So what do you think, blind? Do you believe that racism is real?
Definitely. It's most definitely real. Where
And
I'm sorry. I still want to know where you're getting
Oh, hello.
this
uh-huh.
information from, or this
Well,
idea
ask
from.
Chris. He's getting it
When
from the
did you
news.
first realize this, bro?
Yeah, where did you get this information from, Nathan?
First
That's
of
my
all,
question
you
for you.
left, you ran away.
Yeah, that's so you're not racist, bro. That's good.
You're not racist. That's fine. That's perfect. That's you.
That's
But
beautiful.
racism does exist.
Yeah, it
Other
does
people
exist.
hate black people. Other people hate Hispanics, hate Asians, whatever it
Did
is.
you just hear
They
what you
hate
just
them.
said? You said hate. You said
When
hate,
I
hate,
get
hate.
calls from
Yeah,
the
they
call
hate
center,
people.
they'll be like, "Oh my God, thank God you speak good English. I can't believe they hire guys like the other guy. I could barely understand him."
Oh, whoops.
Like, damn,
My
bro.
fucking phone hung up. That's what
Okay,
you just say.
let's rewind it back.
Like,
Have
damn,
you
bro.
actually
Let's
heard
rewind
that?
it back. Okay,
Yeah, like it
that's a
happened
perfect example.
twice a day, bro. What the fuck?
So
See,
he's
that's a
just
perfect example.
Steve with his
You're saying they're
anecdote.
old
With his
ladies, right?
anecdote.
Wait,
They're like old ladies.
They're
You're
all
just
kinds of
assuming
people,
they are.
brother.
Okay, is it
there's old
wrong
people.
for them? Is it wrong for them to say, "Hey, I don't understand this type of person. I would rather speak to someone that I can hear clearly enough and understand enough." Is that wrong?
Except they didn't say it like that, bro.
They didn't
They're
say it like that.
like, "Oh,
So
jeez, that guy wasn't American." They're like, "That
so
guy wasn't American. He had
this
an
is the issue
accent."
what I
You know what's
see
funny,
with
bro? You know what's
this is
really
the
funny?
issue what I
I had
see with
a
people with hatred.
Let
It's
him
just
speak.
because of
Let
the
him speak.
fact. No, because it's going with the saying. It is the people that are blinded by hatred. So just because she didn't say it in the proper way that you would like to hear it, you automatically were just oh, she's racist.
but the point is, she didn't say it that way, bro. Like she said it the way she said it,
She didn't say it
and so
the way that you wanted her to say it then.
doesn't matter, bro.
There's
No,
a
it
She
way
doesn't
of
could say
matter.
it a
saying
lot
it.
of it.
So
You
is
could
it because
say
she
it
didn't
a
say it
lot
in the
of
way that you
different
wanted her
ways,
to say it?
actually, like a lot of different ways, and she chose the very few ways that sounded pretty racist.
And what is racist then? If you can identify it.
You're gonna say
Oh, he
okay. So
wasn't American.
they're gonna say hatred, and you're gonna say that's why it is. But
What do
here's
you
the thing:
mean? What do you mean American? Of course,
hatred.
if they're in America, right? Like,
Mhm.
what is wrong by
Bank of
saying that?
America is a global corporation, my guy. They know that.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean by that. Okay, that's why I was questioning. I was like, is she saying like America the country or like okay, but you're saying the bank. Okay, I understand that then.
But what
Okay,
does it matter if he was American or not? It's an issue. If he can speak English,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
fine.
That's why I was trying to
Why
explain
does it
earlier. I
matter?
had a coworker. He actually ended up quitting because a lot of people would complain about his accent, and he's lived most of his life in America. They're being
Like
was
that's
it
racist.
messed
really
up.
because it was his accent and nothing else
Yeah,
that he
yeah,
did at work?
yeah, bro. They would tell him like, "Nah, I don't want to fucking talk to you."
So you're saying that you witnessed racism done by a
I
fellow
did.
colleague?
I did.
Done to a fellow colleague. Yes,
To a
he
fellow
did.
colleague.
He quit because of it. He doesn't work there because of it.
And
He got tired of that shit.
and So he believed that he was being racially discriminated against.
He was being racially discriminated. He would constantly put that he needed like a supervisor call on the chat because of this. And it was
What
more
do you
than
mean? He would
usual, which
demand
is
a
kind of fucked
supervisor?
up. Yeah, like no, like they would ask for a supervisor just because of his accent.
What was his
And
job? Like, what
obviously
was
that
his
made him
purpose?
feel like shit,
Did it
bro.
have to do with his vocabulary?
No, man, he speaks perfect. He just has an accent.
Huh,
Nathan,
interesting. I
what do
feel
you
like
think?
that's an individual case in my opinion, because I don't know the guy. I don't know the work area. Never been there. I'm just hearing it from you, you know. But um,
There's millions of individual cases, though. That's the thing.
is it really? Is it really, or
Do you
are
need
you just
Nathan? Do
pointing
you
Probably
need
more,
to
fingers at
see
bro.
it?
There's
somebody?
probably more.
There is. Nathan,
There's
do you?
hundreds of
Let me
millions
ask
of
you a
people
question.
in America alone, bro.
If people just
Alone,
don't
America
like you,
alone.
does that mean that they're racist if they just don't like you?
No, just
No,
no. There's a lot of different forms of hate, bro. Definitely.
But they're all forms of hatred, right? They all come from hatred.
Yeah, but that
yes,
doesn't really make a difference.
You just agreed, and
You're being
you said it
racist. You're
didn't make
being
a difference
racist.
after. So do you agree, or you don't agree
Agree or don't agree with what?
that all of it stems from hatred?
I said there's a lot of different forms of hatred, and
Yeah, but
yeah.
it
racism is
all
one of
stems
them.
from hatred, though. It's a branch off of hatred. I'm like, is that right or is that wrong
I
to
mean, it's
say?
still right,
Mm,
but it's still separate areas, but it's still all form of
Do
hatred.
you guys carry hatred in your heart?
yes, a
See,
lot.
there goes the script you start picking up. You start doing the thing where you start asking questions. Why don't you just let yourself the hatred go? Do you have hatred
I
in
Chris,
your
still
heart?
want to know where you're
Chris,
getting
Doing
these
this
ideas
and
since
from. I
you
still want to know
sound,
understand.
where you're
I'm
Chris,
getting these
curious
ideas
as
Chris,
to
from.
you're
why you're
sounding
reading
very
it off a
feminine
script.
right now, and you're leading with emotions instead of with logic right now. Okay, I
I
asked you
still
a
want to know where
question,
you're getting this from. I
and
feel like
it's
you still
not a
hasn't answered that
personal.
question.
Here's the thing
No
about
one's
that.
taking it
Human
personal, Chris.
beings
Uh-huh.
are
Dude,
em- human beings
And we'll
are
be right back.
emotional beings. Human beings are emotional beings. You can't say that they aren't. That
Who said that? What
every human
evidence do
being is
you have to prove
emotional.
that we are emotional beings?
We have intellect, which gives
We
us
have
emotions.
intellect. Even giraffes
Okay,
retro session.
so let me go
elephants.
back and ask you.
Virtual
Okay,
session.
if that's so, we'll just fast forward it for a little bit. So if that's so, right? Let's just agree. Okay, cool. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. So it makes us human.
No one have joined my ship. Pretty sad.
Do you believe you
Yeah,
guys
portal.
create your own thoughts?
Yes.
What kind of question is that? What kind of fucking question is that?
I think Nathan stumbled onto Scientology.
no, it's literally just honest question. Do you believe that you
What? No,
create all your
where?
thoughts?
But these. Are you sure these fucking questions are coming from you yourself?
Yes,
And no
I
Because
one
don't
you
put
have
these
asked
anything.
me
I'm
ideas
this
into
literally
question.
your head.
recording, and then when you see the podcast later, you'll see the God or third perspective view of me. I don't have anything. It's just this is all me.
Nathan,
So,
so
No,
do you
no,
believe
no.
let me
That's not
let me
what
do
I
you
meant. Like I'm
believe?
saying,
Okay,
like
answer the
who?
question.
Like, do you
Do
talk to
you
this?
believe?
Do you talk about this with
Look,
anybody else?
look,
yeah.
look, look. Yes, I have. I do, and also it's a lot of people's perspectives, and I respect everyone's perspective. And that's one thing
Why
that you got to know. It's not a debate. It's just a discussion, and it's just
And
points of
I
views
have
getting
another
across.
I have another question about that. What is your usual answer? Like what do people usually tell you, bro?
Um, about a good 90% of people say that they do create their own thoughts. So let me go back to you guys. Do you guys create your own thoughts? Do you believe that you create your own thoughts?
Yes. I think therefore I am. But let me ask you, Nathan.
No, wait, hold on.
Uh
Everyone has to answer, Chris. Hold on.
okay,
That
you
was a little
answer, boys. I think
controversial
I know.
because there's times where you don't have your own thoughts that can slip into your head, but
So do you
depends on how you act
believe
on
that
them.
you create your own thoughts? Yes or no?
Yes,
What kind of
we still
church are
create
you
our own
going to?
thoughts.
Are you do you go to church?
Okay, blind.
Doesn't mean
I'm
you
asking you, do
are
you
your thoughts.
believe you create your own thoughts? Yes or no?
Yes.
When you ask these questions, Nathan,
Well, that's a weird
what answer
question,
do
bro.
you
Okay,
expect?
awesome. And what makes you believe that
If
you
I said
create your
hold on,
own
hold
thoughts?
on.
You sound like
What
you're
if I said
doing a
no, bro? What
fucking
if I said no?
survey.
What if I said no to that? The fuck?
I don't.
I'm
Yeah.
curious,
What
I'm
answer?
curious.
What answer do you expect people to give you, Nathan?
Okay, first of all, now
Or do you
you guys
want?
are not even answering the question. You guys need to answer the question.
We
So
did.
Sorry,
We
it's
you guys
did.
you
do
gotta
okay.
understand, bro.
What
These
makes
are
you think that
some
you guys create your own thoughts?
strange questions, my guy.
Why do you sound like okay? So you've asked this question to me before too, in a different call, not in this. And
Do you
I'm in
believe
this
you create
exact
your own
same.
thoughts? All you guys said
It's
yes,
the
and all I'm
exact
saying is,
same
what
thing.
makes you believe that you create all your thoughts? That's it. Since you guys believe that you
Fuck
create your thoughts.
yeah. Wanna join my sheep?
Wait, why does this question always?
So
Well,
are you
I'll
not
answer
gonna
your question.
answer, or you just believe you
Let me
create them, but you don't know how you create them? Is that
I
what it
have
let me
is?
ask
That
brain.
you a question.
I have big brain. Me have conscious.
so do you guys
Yeah.
not know how you create them, but you believe that you create them? Since you guys do
No, I
say
know.
that you
I
guys
know. I create
believe you
them,
create.
bro. I have a conscience. I have a brain. Bro. I got
Do you think?
Okay,
Do
brainwaves,
so
you,
how
bro.
do you
Nathan? Do you
create them?
believe
My
somebody else
brain
makes
is
your own
wrinkled,
thoughts?
therefore I can think.
So how do you
Nathan,
do that?
do you
Explain,
believe
since you know you do it every day.
Nathan?
I'm
Let me
doing it
ask you a
right now,
question.
bro. How are you doing it right now?
How?
Exactly that
Yeah.
way.
Do you
Okay,
believe you
all I'm
create your own
You
saying,
thoughts,
since
Nathan?
literally, you were
Do you
okay,
molded,
believe?
all
brother,
look, calm
from
down.
birth.
Everybody has
Do
their
you do
Molded
emotions
you
from
flared up
birth to do
for
this
no
shit.
reason. You
do
guys are
you
taking it
believe you create
personal. You
your own
guys need to
thoughts?
chill and
Hey, you're not gonna
relax.
join
We're
me?
not taking it personal.
All
Do
I'm
you believe
saying
you make
is,
your
Still?
if
own
you
thoughts,
guys
Nathan?
do agree that
Fuck.
you create your own thoughts, how do you do it?
Why is it
If you
taking
guys
so
do,
long?
The
Chris, how do
synapses
you do it?
fire in my brain. The synapses fire in my
Bring me
brain, and a
one.
thought is created. They finally click, and I think of something, and I have an idea, or I have a want to do something. Right? It's the synapses in your mind and your brain. They make connections, and
Yeah,
they
I see
finally come up
fire.
with
I
thought.
put hand in fire.
See, that's
Big
why I
How
punchy.
fire?
respect you,
How
I
you
no
Chris.
get
I
longer
punchy?
put
respect you with these
fire. I no
answers,
longer
Chris,
put hand in
because of the
fire.
fact that you answer the question, even if it's obviously not toward my like my perspective, and I'm cool with that. I just want to hear an answer. It doesn't there's no right or wrong answer. It's just
No, but
your opinion,
I'm
bro.
asking you a question. I'm asking a question. Do you
So
believe
you
you
said
create
that
your
you
own
create
thoughts?
your own thoughts,
You
and if
ignore
that's
me every time
true,
I ask you
and
a
you said that
question.
you do it with your mind, then here's the next follow-up question to that is, then why do you create the bad thoughts in your mind that make you depressed, have a bad day, do bad things, have suicidal thoughts? Why do
We've
you do
had
that
this
to yourself?
discussion.
So, so
We
this
had
is
the
what I was
discussion.
trying to say earlier. Just because you think of something doesn't make that person you. You know, you can still
That isn't you,
navigate those
actually. Yeah,
thoughts.
you're correct on that
I
end.
think it's just because shitty things happen.
You
Yeah.
know,
'Cause
things
that's
things cross
life.
your mind, but doesn't
That's
mean all depends on how you act
life.
on it.
But the thing is,
Act
if that's the
accordingly.
truth, if that's the truth, then right, so you guys don't create those thoughts, then so you guys don't create your thoughts.
You do create thoughts, but some thoughts can just still come into mind
So those
on
bad
their own.
thoughts, you create them then for yourself to feel the way that you
They're
feel.
still created.
Do you think you
Thoughts,
actively
thoughts are
create
still
thoughts?
created, but it depends on how you act upon those thoughts.
Wait,
That's what makes you who
hold
you
on. We
are.
have to get everybody one by one, dude. This is all being recorded on stream, so look it. Okay, those thoughts, those bad thoughts that make you have a bad day, good day, make your self-esteem go down, make you feel anxious, worried, stressed out, whatever it may be, those bad thoughts in your mind, do you control and do you make them?
Yes.
We've said yes multiple times.
So you make your bad thoughts that make you depressed, have suicidal tendencies, and do bad things?
You
Your
can do at
brain.
times. Your brain can fire out certain ways and you think of certain things. Some people don't think of certain things like that. Some people do. Depends on what's going on in their lives and
In
how
in
curious they are.
in the grand scheme of things, your brain is you, Nathan. Your brain is you, and your brain makes
So
things,
your
makes
brain is
ideas.
you. Your brain
Yes,
is you.
your brain is who you are. That's your consciousness. That's who you are. That's your
Amazing.
emotions, your
Wow.
feeling. Why does it sound like you're writing things down? Like you're not actually writing things down, but it
No,
sounds like
that's
you're
amazing. That's
tapping off
amazing.
of.
That's
It
amazing. So
sounds
you're
like you're
saying that you
scratching off of a
create your
list.
own thoughts. You said that you
Doesn't it
create
sound
your
like
own
that? It sounds like
thoughts.
he's
No, sorry. Robert tripped over Tobin.
Oh god.
Oh fuck.
It sounds
That shit
like
was funny.
you're saying that you create your own thoughts and the bad thoughts, but you don't know how you create them.
The synapse is fire in your head, Nathan, and a thought is formed. That's how it is. That's just how
Interesting.
it is. That's nature. Your brain was created. The brain is like this, the greatest computer of
So
all.
your brain is what you identify as you.
Yes. What do you identify as you, Nathan?
Me in the spirit, I just believe this body is just a vessel. I don't like I live through the body. I don't live like within the body. This body is mortal. It will die. It will be flesh. It will just decompose, burn to the ashes, whatever it may be. But the spirit will live forever. Like I said, I don't see skin color. I see it as in, like I said, it's like personal vehicles. We all have different color vehicles, different types of vehicles and models and whatever, but what drives the vehicle is a human being, like a spirit inside of everyone. So that's my perspective of things.
But the thoughts come from the mind, right? That's where the thoughts are. The mind. Do you believe
No,
you
they're actually not
you
of the mind.
where are they from, and do you believe you come up with those thoughts?
They're from Satan.
All of them, or
Yeah.
just the bad ones?
All of your thoughts except your practical thoughts. Like, I have to, go to work tomorrow. I have to tie
Eat,
my shoes. Obviously, or I'm
shit,
gonna fall down and
drink.
trip.
Yeah, yeah. Eat, shit, drink, breathe. That's all practical thoughts. That's God's thoughts. Bad
No,
thoughts,
that's just
stray.
practical thoughts of the mind. But
But why
those
does the
other
bad thoughts
thoughts
come
that you
from
don't
Satan?
create, they're not of you. They affect you, and you
Yeah,
become emotional through those things, and you become misguided. And those things, like for example, it causes you to judge people. It causes you to judge yourself. It
but you are
causes
judging people, though,
no,
aren't
I
you?
respect everyone's perspective, and that's why I just want some questions answered. And then you guys ask me, which is fine. And I'm just respectfully having a discussion here. I'm not having a debate. I'm not trying to overshoot my faith or whatever to you, and likewise back. And in the process, we
We had
might
this.
learn a thing or two about each other more.
Okay, we had this discussion about how
I'm
when
gonna
you
wait for
say
one more person to
"wow,"
join Cube.
and it sounds condescending when somebody gives you an answer,
But
and
you said you have
condescension is
hatred in you.
judgment in
So,
a
You
way.
said you have
so
hatred in
question, so
you, and is
question,
that
so
good?
question.
Nathan, he has
Wait,
a question.
I have a question. So you said that bad thoughts come from Satan.
All
What is
thoughts
your
except practical thoughts come from Satan. Yeah.
all thoughts except for
Even the good
practical thoughts
ones.
come from Satan, even the good ones? What
When
makes it
you are
practical?
led
What
by
makes it good?
ego and when you are led by emotion and it controls you and you become a slave to your thoughts, then yeah.
But it depends on how you act upon those thoughts. Doesn't make you who you are. That's what I was saying earlier. Just because you get those thoughts doesn't mean that is your person. That makes you who
Well,
you
yeah,
are.
we're not supposed to listen to our thoughts and become slave to our thoughts. Correct on that end, yeah.
But
Are
we
all
are
people
though.
slaves to their
Not
thoughts?
to all thoughts, but we get to be. We can be slaves to our good thoughts. That's what makes people scientists and makes them find all these scientific theories and all these
Do you
books
believe
and
in Nathan?
situations.
Books and situations.
Do you believe in science, Nathan?
I
Dude,
I go by a different faith. When anyone that has hatred in your heart, I don't listen to them. Jesus said, anyone with hatred in their heart, you don't listen to them because they're led by hatred and emotion and not by logic and wisdom. Um, I'd rather have wisdom over knowledge all day, and that's just my personal perspective on it.
but don't you have to have some emotion to use logic?
Uh, Emotions are from females, and we're men, and we're man, and we lead by righteousness. We lead
But
by
why is
right
there such a
versus wrong,
separation
logic
between
and
men and
wisdom.
female? Why does there have to be such a separation between the two?
It's
Because
only a
and this
chromosome
is
that
my
changes, doesn't
perspective,
it?
and I'm getting my sources from the Bible. I'm not getting it from anywhere else. So if you believe what you believe, that's perfectly fine. But since you asked that question, yes, because man and woman are not equal. God made Adam in his image and made Eve of his rib of man. um it's and then it's the hierarchy in the household of God over Christ, Christ over man, man over woman, and woman over children. That's the order of Christ, and
But
that's
there's
how it
also
should be.
slavery in the Bible.
When that
If
order
it,
gets
if you
disrupted,
want to use the Bible, there's slavery there.
when that order gets disrupted, um we'll get to slavery right now. I do believe slavery is real for sure. I just don't believe in racism. But yeah, slavery is for sure real.
You
Yeah,
But
don't
does
need
it
to
make it
I'm not
right?
believe.
knocking
You
slavery.
don't need to believe
But,
slavery is
but
real.
what I'm trying to get at is, does it make it right just because it's in the Bible that
What
man
what what makes it
is
right? What
higher
are you
than
talking
women?
about? Right?
Is that this?
What
Does
Is slavery okay?
being higher than women make it right just because it's in the Bible? That's what it's claiming. But it's like to
Yeah, we
say
are over women, and actually,
you
women
are
is the
more
one
than your
that
mother.
because you need to
Like,
be born of the father to be born again, and you need to drop your hatred of the mother, because what the thing is that is, when the serpent deceived Eve, he deceived Eve. So Eve, Satan became her God. And then Adam fell for Eve to eat the apple too and and disobey God. So women became man's God. That's why Jesus said the weakness of man is female.
Do you tell this to your girlfriend? I mean, your wife?
Yeah, I let her know when she starts going angry and crazy and whatever, and like I just let her know, like only like she doesn't go out all the time, but if she gets in an argument with me, I let her know. I'm like, hey, it's just Satan working through you. You're not thinking with logic, you're thinking with emotions, and I don't affect it. I don't, because if you ever had a situation where you had an argument with somebody and you were very emotional, and after the fact you told them, or you told yourself like, damn, I shouldn't have said that stupid shit, like that was dumb as fuck, I don't know why I said that, because you literally dumb yourself down when you become succumbed by anger and hatred.
I do believe you don't think straight when you're angry, and anything that
You
happens
say
after
things you
that
don't mean, you say
is
things that are not
yeah.
logical, you just
But I
become
don't.
dumber in that essence.
You lower your wits because you're angry and you let yourself yes. But
No, it's because you lead
emotions
with
still.
emotion like the female, like a
Did
lot of
you
people
feel
do.
happy? Did you feel happy when your daughter, your son, I mean your son was born? Sorry.
I feel eternal happiness and peace, but happiness, the problem with happiness is being happy is an emotion and it goes away. Because you can be happy, right? And then something can happen that makes you unhappy the rest of the day or the next day. Happiness doesn't last.
Yeah, happiness doesn't last. Not everything lasts in this world. Cars, friends, uh, family members.
family.
Everybody dies. Everything goes away in the end. But it doesn't mean you can't experience those emotions and still be happy with it. You know what I mean? Still feel
No,
happiness
no,
and joy.
definitely be observant and know what it is. But like you said, no one's immortal here, and
Right.
you shouldn't be sad for somebody, especially if the fact that they're saved in Christ. Um, like in in the majority Christian tradition, it's when they have a funeral, it's a celebration of life because you're celebrating the fact that they passed on, moved to a better place, and they're with Christ, and you will be there, and you long to be there one day to join them. So it's not like a bad thing once people pass away and have these dark like funerals and stuff where people are crying and sad and stuff. It should be a time of
But
happiness, especially if you know that they are saved.
you can still be sad about somebody passing away. You
But
understand?
what does that do for
Uh,
you? What does that do for you?
It
the
makes you human.
grieving process makes you human, but it's also very healthy to feel sad, to cry, to
So you're
like
saying it's very
mentally.
healthy to be sad. Amazing.
It's healthy to be sad.
No, it's
It
healthy
is.
it's healthy to feel those emotions,
It's
but
healthy to feel those
it's not
emotions.
healthy to just
Chris
drown in
said
those
it is
emotions.
happy to be sad. Is that actual?
You're
Like, is that real?
you're twisting it.
Yeah, you're writing something. Yeah, it
No, no.
is.
I'm just letting you know, like you said, yeah. So it's good to be sad.
Nathan,
And
I'm
then
not talking about
Cosmic
that. It sounds
Cosmic
like you're
said no, it's
scratching
not,
something
right?
off. It
But
it we you're twisting things around. We're saying is it's healthy to
But
feel
what does
sadness
being
and grief.
sad do for you?
It gets your it feelings and emotions out. It makes you feel as though you feel all the emotions that you felt. How to explain this? How do I explain grief to somebody who doesn't understand grief? It's
I
it's
don't it's
it's
not that
it's
it's not
tough.
understandable. I'm asking you, what does sadness do for you?
It makes
it
you
just lets
sad.
you it just
It
lets
makes
you
you sad.
remember
It
all the
helps you.
times
You
you
remember
passed
all
with the
the good
person
times,
or all your feelings.
and it
Doesn't just
lets
because
you.
you felt sad about it doesn't mean you're gonna end everything
Yeah,
grieving.
I mean, it's good to understand it is good. Yeah, you can probably be sad for a moment, but it's not something to be weeping and crying for when you understand that the person's moved on to a better life and a better
You could
world,
still
and
feel
you
sad
seem.
over somebody not being with you anymore. You
Why would you
understand? All the
want
joy
somebody to
and
be
things that
trapped in this world still suffering from the sin and the badness of this world and the wickedness of what's going on? Why would you want someone to stay here longer when they could have been in paradise? That
now we're
seems
getting
pretty
into
selfish.
accelerationism. Now we're getting into
That's
accelerationism.
honestly that
That's
sounds
a whole
pretty
different
selfish.
conversation.
That sounds pretty selfish. How can you tell them that it's not their time?
It sounds very judgmental when you say things like that. You understand? And
You
that is a
said
woman,
that
like you
sadness
said.
is good. And can you elaborate on that? How is it good for you?
You said right now that it's very selfish to want somebody to be there with you in life. That's a judgment that you are making of people who miss somebody, right? You're judging people who miss them and want them to be there with them and talk to them and shit like that, right?
Steve, run it.
That's a judgment, and that's very feminine of you.
No, no, no. I am not. I'm asking you a question. What does it do to be sad for you? Since you said being sad is good. What does
It
it
helps you
do? It
vent these
causes people to
emotions.
commit suicide. It causes people to commit crime
I
and do
haven't
bad
killed
things to
myself
bad.
yet. I haven't killed myself yet, have I? Sadness still helps people vent these emotions, these bottled up emotions like the anger, the rage, the sadness, everything. You could cry it
But
out
if
and
you
feel
had no
fucking
anger
new
or
again.
rage, if you had no anger or rage, would you feel sadness?
And if I had two fucking wheels, I would be a bicycle, Nathan. None of this is it doesn't
Wow, no
we
one
don't
has
we
joined,
still
huh?
have we have sadness and
Is your
rage.
shit open?
We're stuck with them.
Yeah, it
We're stuck
is.
with them.
Huh.
This is human. This is emotions. This is what we are.
Is it
You
downloaded for
understand?
you?
No.
It's it depends on how we handle those sort of things. You understand? Uh,
Hey, Andrew.
You did?
it's not like somebody is
Virtual Sage.
above these sort of emotions. Nobody's above these emotions. Everybody has anger and rage. It just depends on how you handle it and how you deal with it. You
Okay.
understand